part of the curriculum. And angina pectoris is mentioned there, part of the curriculum. So it is a part of my curriculum. Second thing is, whilst I'm doing MD medicine, I have hands-on training when it comes to angina pectoris. So hands-on training is there. The third thing is, in the curriculum, MCI also recommends textbooks. And Harrison's textbook of internal medicine is one of the books recommended by MCI. So I kept Harrison in front of the court and I told the court, angina pectoris is a part of Harrison's textbook of medicine, which I am expected to read. So theory-wise, angina pectoris is something I have read. And one of the MD papers wherein angina pectoris was a question. So I told the court, cardiology and angina pectoris is a part of my theory paper, and in practicals also I am asked questions. And then I posed the question to the court. If these 4 questions that I have posed is answered in the affirmative, why is it that I can't practice it? The court was convinced. And that is how court was very much convinced. And subsequently I said, when it comes to MS general surgery, the same thing holds on. And the last part, the icing of the cake was, I said, in emergency medicine, this particular law does not apply. It is an exception. And I gave an example. There was an elderly advocate sitting in the front rows of the court. So I told the court, see, I'm a gynecologist. Suppose this elderly advocate, of course, I told the court it should not happen. I'm giving an example. Otherwise, that fellow would have got fits, you know. So I said, if this particular elderly advocate gets a cardiac arrest right here and falls, can I say, I am a gynecologist, only used to doing PVs. This particular elderly advocate does not have a PV. I cannot do it, so I will not touch. You know, these were the very words I used in the court. So I asked the court, should I allow him to die, or should I do everything possible to see that he lives? I'm on the point of whether cross-specialty practice becomes applicable in emergency medicine. So the court said, yes, what you're saying is right. When it comes to emergency, there is absolutely no law. Okay, all right. All right, thank you. 5 minutes she's giving me. Okay, never mind. So when it comes to emergency, there is no law applicable. So whatever you do, you have to do it in good faith for the benefit of the patient. So a gynecologist managing a cardiac arrest in the court is accepted by the law. And that is what the court has said in its judgment. So this particular judgment, for the first time ever, has started relooking, reviewing the judgment given by the Supreme Court with respect to cross-specialty practice. So cross-specialty practice is very much valid, but there are 3 exceptions now. One is general medicine, second is general surgery, and third is emergency medicine. By the way, I told you, both Dhananka and Nizam Institute went to the Supreme Court. Remember, I left you all there. And then I took a turn. Now, coming back. Do you know what happened to the Supreme Court decision? Supreme Court confirmed what the National Commission has said. And that is the sad part of the whole thing. Supreme Court has said cross-specialty practice exists. In this particular Prashant Dhananka's case, the hospital should not have referred the patient to the cardiothoracic department, but the Department of Medicine should have referred the patient to the Department of Neurosurgery. And for the first time ever in the history of medical law, Supreme Court awarded a compensation of 1 crore of rupees. First time. It has never happened that way. 1 crore of rupees. And ever since that 1 crore compensation, courts have become very liberal. Ladies and gentlemen, today practicing has become next to impossible. Remember, trust me what I'm saying. I've been saying this, that we people, my generation, has had the best of the times. We really don't know, once you are nearing 65, you really don't know how many more years you are going to practice. But the juniors that you have, for example, I'm attached to Somaya Medical College. I have juniors there, resident doctors, registrars, house surgeons, lecturers. A time has come when I have started really thinking, how is it that they are going to practice? And the answer to this question is very simple. Trust me, from this public platform, I'm making this statement. In another 5 years from now, there might not be any one of us against whom there is no case of medical negligence filed in the court. And maybe in another 10 years from now. Today what has happened is, if at all there's a case of medical negligence against me, I'm a little shy. I don't want to discuss about it. But maybe in another 10 years from now, at cocktail parties, the discussion will be, one, one will say, I've got 5 against me, and the second one will say, I've got 10 against me, and the number of cases against you will be the criteria of practice. More the cases, more medical negligence. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to sum up, you people have chosen the right thing by taking up this particular diploma. The very best in life. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Do I take questions? Yes, questions. Mics, these are the mics. I don't plant questions, huh? You can ask me anything under the sun.
This was one of the best lectures of the entire session.
Oh. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So the number of questions.
Where are you? Ah, yes.
The number of questions I think will decide that everybody is awake.
So that you mean to say the lunch was not good?
No, both the things were good. That's what I want to say. Yeah, I'm Dr. Payal Shah.
Yes.
I wanted to.
Your specialty, from where you come?
I'm from Pune. I'm a general practitioner, BMS, and I've taken up the medical legal diploma.
Ah.
Yeah. So, doctor, you said that somebody who has practiced for 15 years as a general surgeon, but has a hands-on practice of cardiothoracic surgery. I mean, he shouldn't need a specialty in cardiothoracic surgery.
At that point of time, prior to 2002. After 2002 or after 1999, once the law is laid down in cross-specialty practice, today you need a qualification. Experience is really immaterial.
Okay, fine.
Immaterial.
Yeah,
So here...
we heard a lot of lectures about quality accreditation and quality assurance. So that's what I wanted to inquire that at this point of stage, do we go in for quality accreditation or the experience?
Thank you. So experience is immaterial. It is only the qualifications that matter. Immaterial. If maybe Dr. Daftari was practicing today, no, he could not have practiced neurosurgery because put in a good number of years in the specialty, those words have been deleted. So today you can practice a particular specialty only and only if you have the requisite qualifications. Code of Medical Ethics, as laid down by the MCI 2002, you can read it. I'll always quote where it is. Yeah, come. Yes, yes.
Happened to us. I'm Dr. Irfan. I'm an emergency physician from one of the corporate hospitals in
Physician?
Yeah,
Okay.
On 27th of Feb of this year, we had a sting operations in 5 of the major corporate hospitals in Ahmedabad.
You had what? You had a sting operation.
We had a sting operation.
Okay, go ahead.
Sting operation. Whereby one of the patient came and he was being accompanied by another person, and they told that they were working in an office and suddenly he had what you call as angina pectoris, a sudden onset of a cardiac pain. So immediately rushed down to the hospital. As an emergency physician, one of my residents had examined him, and all the vitals have been taken, entire history was being taken, even the process, everything indicate has been done. The sugar was being done, the ECG was being done. We are also accustomed to screening echocardiography as well, so my resident did the same thing as well. We advised him that after an hour, we can again go for ECG to rule out that whether there is an ST elevation or not. An associate, we can go for and provide investigations to rule out. And thirdly, we can take an opinion of a cardiologist, if at all, if he sees in echocardiography or according to his opinion, if you require an angio or something like that, we may be admitting to an ICU. After all these things were done, it's not your forte, you should not have done this. I'm not going to pay. The management was very involved. The management also done the same thing. No, this has to be done, and the procedures, and you have to pay for that. They didn't pay, they went off. Same procedure was being done at 4 other corporate hospitals. On 20th of Feb, on the first page of the newspaper, it was a heading. Corporate hospitals doing this with the names of the hospitals. And the 1st of March, we got a notice from the government that not a single patient should be denied the treatment, one. Nor they should be denied that if they don't have the money, they should not be asked for. Simultaneously, you should shift the patients once stabilization is done to either the civil hospital or the police hospital. This was. Now, what is your take?
God. See, there are only 2 vocations in this world. Only 2 vocations. The first one is a business, and the second one is a profession. These are only 2 vocations. What is the basic difference between business and profession? Business is done especially with an idea of making profits. But when it comes to a profession, we practice our profession with a social welfare in mind. The second very important difference between the two is a business can be started by any person, but when it comes to a profession, we professionals can practice only after we are registered with the appropriate authority. That is, medical councils, we have got to register. Only then we are able to practice. If our registration is not there with the medical council, we will not be able to practice. The third difference is a businessman has got to give guarantee or warranty with respect to the substances that he gives. But when it comes to us professionals, we are not expected by law to give guarantee or warranty with respect to the end results of our services. And what is the flip side? The businessman does business only with money. Paisa rakho, saman leke jao. But when it comes to professionals, we are not supposed to ask for money. We are supposed to live on love and fresh air. You understand? Not supposed to ask for money. Whatever the patient gives you, you are supposed to take. So, demanding money is not correct. But then, we all have to live. That is why we always demand. And if some person says, I'm not going to pay you, you can't do anything. You are lost. That is why most of the institutions and intelligent doctors, they collect money in advance. Correct? And, no, wait, let me finish. Now I'll discuss all. Your whole question I will discuss. Everything I will see, something very interesting. They not only take money in advance, but they take it much more and then subsequently they refund. That is the practice that is followed. Now the question is, after treatment, the patient says, I don't have money. Then what will you do? That is your question. I'll tell you, this particular problem took place in Tamil Nadu. It is Apollo Hospital, Madras, that this particular problem took place. A very nice proposition that you have put up. The patient was treated, they did everything, finally the patient died. There was some 4 or 5 lakhs of rupees to be paid by the relatives. The relatives said, I don't have money. And Apollo Hospital, Madras said, I'm not going to release the body. Pay the money first. Subsequently, once the hospital said, I'm not going to release the body, they went out, got the money, paid the money, took the body, cremated the body. And subsequently, the widow filed a complaint in the consumer court. They said that doctors saying this, that they are not going to release the money because payment was not done is not correct, because doctors are supposed to do social service. Hospitals are supposed to look at public welfare, public health problems, and body must be released. It cannot be held back. You know what Apollo Hospital, what Madras Consumer Court decided in this particular case? The Madras Consumer Court said what Apollo Hospital did was perfect. There's nothing wrong in it. Why? Whenever there's a judgment given, there's a reasoning behind it. The reasoning was, whatever transpires between a doctor and a patient is a pure contract. It's a contract. The hospital and the doctors contract to render services, and for the services rendered, the patient and the relatives contract to pay the hospital and the doctors. If the hospital has taken care of its job, its part of the contract, there is no reason why the relatives should not fulfill their part of the contract. Correct? So whatever the hospital did in demanding the money was correct, and that was how this particular case was decided. Subsequently, what happened was, in Mumbai, there's a big hospital known as Hiranandani Hospital. A similar problem took place there. The Hiranandani Hospital people said there was some 3 lakhs something outstanding. They said, we will, okay, fatwa aa gaya. Wrap up, chalo. I'll just finish this and we'll wrap up. Hiranandani Hospital said, well, you pay the money and take the body. And this particular relative was a very intelligent relative. He moved the Bombay High Court and he told the Bombay High Court, this is what is happening. And the Bombay High Court asked the hospital authorities to release the body. The reasoning given by the Bombay High Court was, see, if at all 3 lakhs of rupees is outstanding, you have a remedy available in the court. You can take the relatives to the civil court, initiate recovery proceedings and collect the money from them. But holding back the dead body is absolutely unethical and also immoral. So when there is a remedy available to you, you can always pursue that remedy, but holding back a dead body was very improper. Now, in between these two cases, there was another case that came up in Bombay. It was a smaller hospital where the patient died. And then the relative said, I don't have money. And the hospital said, I am not going to release the dead body. A smaller nursing home. You know what the relative said? Relative said, I don't want the body, you cremate it. you know, the moment this was said, the hospital authorities got a hearse, put the body in the hearse and delivered it at the residence of the patient. A real case of home delivery, you know. So you are not expected to ask for money, but then if at all the patient gives you money, it is well and done. Otherwise, demanding money is not proper. Please stand up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Wait, I'll just stand up. Inspiring. Thank you very much. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that very patient hearing.
Thank you, sir, for such an interesting and informative session. It has given us a great pleasure to have you here with us. I would now like to call upon Dr. Rajiv Yerodigar, sir, Dean, Faculty of Health and Biomedical Sciences, to felicitate Dr. Shenoy.